Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Savvy Commerce. My name is Ratna Dubey and in this video I'll be continuing with the topic non-probability sampling. So, non-probability sampling. It is a non-random sampling. That means in a non-probability sampling, not every individual has a chance of being included in the sample. Suppose if I am drawing sample from the whole population, in that population those individuals who are there, they do not have an equal chance of the selection. That means there can be some kind of judgment, there can be some kind of biasness involved in that selection. So what is happening over here in non-probability sampling, individuals are getting selected on the basis of non-random criteria. So not each and every individual have a chance of equal selection. That becomes my non-probability sampling. Now there are different methods of non-probability sampling. They are convenience sampling, judgmental sampling, snowball sampling, voluntary response sampling, quota sampling. What is convenience sampling? So, it is the selection of samples which are easily available to the researcher. As the name suggests, convenience sampling. That means the researcher will select those samples which are easily available. This is a very easy and inexpensive method to select the sample. Here you can see that in convenience sampling, what the researcher is doing, all these samples which are near to him, he will select that. That means they are easily accessible to him. The researcher is selecting only those samples which are nearby him. Suppose this is a whole lot of population, and what he is selecting, this box you can see over here, he is selecting only those samples which are near. Now, judgmental sampling. Its other name is purposive sampling. In judgmental sampling, what is happening? The researcher is putting its judgment in selecting the samples. That's why it becomes judgmental sampling. When he or she is purposefully selecting any sample on the basis of his judgment, then it becomes the purposive or judgmental sampling. So in nutshell, whenever the researcher is making some kind of judgment and on the basis of those judgment he is purposefully selecting some of the samples from the whole population, at that time it becomes my judgmental sampling. Basically, if we talk about judgmental sampling, it is about a specific phenomena. That means when the researcher wants to have some detailed knowledge about anything, at that time he or she will select the judgmental sampling method, because in this not so many statistics are involved. Simply what the researcher is doing over here, he is passing some judgment, and whatever the purpose that is being involved in his judgment, he will select that sample only. Now, snowball sampling. In snowball sampling, suppose the researcher is selecting one participant. Now, in case if he is not able to find the participants of his requirement, then what the researcher will do? He will allow the participant, the one participant, now that one participant will recruit or select the other participant also. Suppose I have been selected by some researcher for his further research. I might be knowing the similar person of me and the same field, so I will be selecting those person. Now they will further contact to other person. So what is happening over here is the research participants, I was the research participant and now I am selecting the other participants as well. So one person is contacting to the other person. It is used when it is difficult for the researcher to contact each and every participants. Actually, it is same as when we have seen, suppose if you roll a snowball, what will happen? It picks up the more snow into it and makes the snowball bigger. So similarly over here also one participant will add the other participant. That means one person is now contacting to the other person and making that ball, that means making that sample bigger in the size. Here you can see this. Suppose the researcher is there, he selected these two people, first one and second one. Now one person will contact these many people, and this other person, this pink guy, he will be contacting with some other people. Now by this way the researcher is being able to select these many people, that is 5 over here and 4 over here. So this becomes snowball sampling. Now voluntary response sampling. Voluntary response sampling is based on easy availability of the individuals. As in convenience sampling, we saw no, that whatever the research that is convenient to the researcher, that will be selected by him. Now over here what is happening? Here the researcher does not go to find out the participant, but instead the participants, they come voluntary to join the group. In convenience, what was happening? Researcher was selecting those samples whatever was easily available to the researcher. But what is happening in voluntary response sampling, that researcher is not finding the participant, but participants are coming to join. Here you can see inconvenience, what was happening? The researcher was going to the participant, but here opposite things are happening. That means these participants are contacting the researcher. Now, quota sampling. In quota sampling, the samples are drawn based on the individuals that represent the whole population, but they are possessing the same characteristics, but I will select only those individuals who represent the specific kind of traits. These are the samples that can be generalized to the entire populations. For example, if I want to know that what kind of ice creams are preferred by the people and what age group of people preferring what type of or what brand of ice cream they are preferring. So for that what I'll do, I'll make a group of individuals, suppose till 10 years, then 10, 11 to 20 years, 20 to 30 years, 30 to 40 years. So in this I will generalize my groups, I will divide my groups into different age groups. What will happen now? From this information the researcher will now try to find out that what kind of people are selecting what type of ice cream among the different cities. Now the researcher will be able to know the trend of among the population in that particular city, in which city what type of ice creams are differently demanded by the people. So this becomes quota sampling. Now we are done with all the types of non-probability sampling. Okay, so if you find this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel Savvy Commerce. And if you are having any query or any doubt, mention that in the comment section. Thank you.